to another video. In today's video, we will be doing an NBA team tier list. So for the people that are not aware with how you do a ranking like this, so D is just bad. So imagine you get an F on the test. That's the worst you can get. C is average, maybe below average probably. B is average, so you're right in the middle of the pack. A is a really good team, and then S is just like elite. You're such a good team. Okay, so I'm just going off of my opinion. Okay, so I'm going off of my opinion and how this team is doing so far. And I'm going to try my best not to be biased. Okay, so we're going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers. And they have two All-Stars on the starting lineup, so obviously they're gonna be a good team. And so they're the best in the Eastern Conference, but the Eastern Conference is really not that good. So for me personally, I'm gonna say A. They're not S and they're not B, so I'm gonna say A for that team. Washington, they've been on a little bit of a streak lately. I know there's a lot of Washington fans out there. You guys are not a bad team. I think it's a lot. You can't just put so much chemistry on a team and expect to win. You can't put so much talent on the team and expect to win. You got to have chemistry, and for that reason, I'm going to put you at a B. I think you're a talented team. You just need to have some more chemistry. That's what I'm going to say. Atlanta Hawks, great young team. Obviously, they were really good at the start of the year, but things have fallen down a bit for them. I'm going to continue to say they're a good team. I'm going to put them at B. Cleveland Cavaliers, definitely another young team. A lot of talent on that squad. I think they're underrated a lot. I don't think they get the recognition they deserve. I'm going to say, once again, Cleveland Cavaliers at the B. And Detroit Pistons, I really like the Pistons. But going on a basis, this is how I'm, ranking these guys. There's talent and chemistry. And the Pistons have very little of both of those, but I don't think they're a horrible team. I mean, Delon Wright has been having a great year until he got injured. Jeremy Grant, I think, should have been an All-Star. Mason Plumlee, he's doing good as well. I'm going to put them at C, okay? But I may shift that around. Indiana Pacers, they've been doing horrible lately, but that's also because they're injury some. So I'm going to put them, they'd usually be at a B, so I'm going to keep them there. I don't think they're A. Milwaukee Bucks, you pair Giannis, who's MVP, with two other guys that I think could be All-Stars, but we're not. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, and Bobby Portis, great young talent. That's an A team right there. Toronto Raptors, they had a very stinky start to the season. But they have regrouped so well. So I'm going to give them A or... They are such a talented team. Fred VanVleet, I'm going to say they're an A team. I think they are actually really good. Mavericks with Luka. I think the problem with the Mavericks is they're relying on Luka and Kristaps way too much. Way, way too much. I mean, they're both great players, but you got to surround them with other great guys. I mean, the best player except both of those guys is Josh Richardson. That's a problem. So right now, you guys are underperforming this year, so I'm going to put you at the same category as Detroit Pistons right now. You guys got to have... You can't just, say this was 2K. You can't just have two 90s on a team. I mean, I don't know if you'd still consider Kristaps a 90. But then you're surrounding him with, all these, 77s. it's just not going to work. So I'm going to change them to a B tier, but they're a very low B. Okay. Now, Denver Nuggets with Jokic. This year, I do think they're underperforming. That's also, though, because of Gary Harris. He's not having a good season. I mean, last few years, I should say, he's been a great player, great role player, I guess you could say. But he's just fallen down so much, so I'm going to give them a B. I don't think they're better than the Raptors or any of those teams. Memphis. I'm telling you, when Jaren Jackson comes back, this team is going to be scary. They're already doing good without him. So right now, I'm going to put them at B again. Minnesota Timberwolves. They have had a lot of problems. What am I saying? The last years. I don't even know with this team. They gotta fire the coach. I don't even know. I don't even know their coach's name. They just gotta fire. They're just not doing good for them. I'm putting them at a D, really. You just have this. Karl Anthony Towns, he's so good and he's wasting his career. He's wasting his career in Minnesota. They're the worst team in the league. I'm saying it. San Antonio Spurs. Any team that has Greg Popovich as the coach, I like. But I said I'm not going to be biased. Greg Popovich, best coach of all time. I don't care what you say. So I'm going to put them at the B. Utah Jazz. This year we're talking about, okay? I think the Utah Jazz is a very talented team. Don't get me wrong. But they're not S tier. S tier, I think a team like the, I don't even know, 98 Bulls. You gotta have, a super talented team. So I'm putting Utah, at the A tier. Now Clippers. Clippers are a very interesting team. They have a good team, but they don't have much except Paul George and Kawhi. So in that case, this may be controversial, but I'm putting them at a B, okay? I don't think they're A. Phoenix Suns, I really like this team. Chris Paul is the perfect match for Devin Booker. Can I say that? I mean, perfect match right there. I think DeAndre Ayton may have been snubbed from the All-Star game. I don't know if he was All-Star caliber, but he's been playing really good. So with that said, Phoenix, you're going to go B. Portland Trailblazers. I mean, for so many years they've been trying out the CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard thing. And can I be honest? It ain't working, okay? You guys have just been in the, middle of the playoffs every single year. And you guys have gone far, but it's just not worked out. So, with that being said, you guys are B, okay? And now on to the Sacramento Kings. My personal favorite team in the NBA. But I gotta be honest here. There are many flaws with this team. You don't have much of a bench. I mean, do they start Marvin Bagley? I think they may, but except Tyrese Halliburton, you guys have no bench. I'm sorry. So with that being said, I am going to put them at C tier right now. I think they got a super young team, and with that, there's not very much experience. So I think in a few years, they could go to this, but not right now. The New York Knicks, and let me say, Julius Randle, I think is the most improved player of the year so far. And they're doing so much better with acquiring Derrick Rose now. So I'm going to put them at B. Now the New Orleans Pelicans, once again, kind of like Sacramento, I'm going to put them at C, but few years, Brandon Ingram and Zion, they progressed so much, they could be an A or even S sometime. I don't know. But they're going to be C. Now the Charlotte Hornets, I love this team. And a lot of people say that Michael Jordan is not a good GM. He's, and I do agree with that, but he's not a bad GM. He is modest, okay? He was obviously a way better player, but I think that move to draft LaMelo was so good. So I'm going to put them at a high B. Actually, not a high B, just a B. Houston Rockets, I'm sorry, you guys, they went on a huge win streak, okay? Huge win streak when they traded James Harden. But you guys, just not working, okay? Didn't want to do this. Yeah. Now with the Miami Heat, who made it to the finals last year, but are not showing that they are a finals team. They have disappointed me so much this year. They're going B. And let me say, they are close to bottom B, okay? They're close to the Sacramento's right now. I'm so disappointed by them this season. Now the Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, I do think that this is a good team. Do I think they're as good as the other B teams? No. So in that, they're C. Now the Brooklyn Nets, best trio of all time, I think. You got 2 former MVPs and two title winners. So they're the first S team. So now we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're in rebuild mode. So that's why they traded all their assets, like Chris Paul and all this stuff. They're in rebuild mode. They saw that, look, it wasn't working with what we were doing. We were constantly changing the team and it wasn't working. So now they're focusing on Shea. So they're going in C tier. Now, Golden State Warriors are a very interesting team. I think it's the end of the dynasty. I gotta be honest. I think it's the end of the dynasty, and I can't say much without seeing when Clay comes back. But Clay's gonna be out for the entire season. So for now, I'm putting them at a bottom B. Now the Boston Celtics, they've really been underperforming this year. They have so much potential, but they just throw it away sometimes. Last year, I would have put them here, right at A. Or I could have even put them at S. But I don't know. They're B. Now Los Angeles Lakers, when Anthony Davis is there, they're super duper good. But you gotta know how to conquer those hurdles. So for now, they're going at A. Finally, the Orlando Magic. And the Orlando Magic, they've been at the bottom of the playoff bracket in the East for a few years now, but they've not really ever been a good team. Okay, I'm saying this as, yes, they have been a mediocre team, but definitely not a great team. But this year, I'm just gonna, they could be here. They could. They really could, but we're gonna go right there in the C. So yeah, this is my NBA tier list. Comment down below if there were any things that you would change. I think some people may get mad that I didn't put Lakers like that, but can I be honest? I'm just sick of Lakers always winning, honestly. So yeah. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.